Alright, let's get right into it. Most people hear crypto and they immediately think of Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high or some meme coin going to the moon overnight. They see the headlines, they see the hype. But what they don't see are the quiet revolutions happening just beneath the surface. These are the trends that aren't making the front page of the news just yet. These are the opportunities where the real, long-term value is being built, far away from the noise and speculation. This is where early investors can find their edge, before the rest of the world catches on, and the prices reflect the massive potential. I've spent countless hours digging through white papers, analyzing market data, and talking to people deep within the industry, and I've noticed a pattern. While everyone is distracted by the same old stories, a few key areas are showing explosive growth signals. These aren't just ideas on a napkin, they are functional technologies solving real-world problems. We're talking about trends with the potential to disrupt trillion-dollar industries, telecommunications, social media, the very concept of asset ownership. Getting in early on these trends could be the difference between catching the tail end of a bull run and positioning yourself for the next decade of growth. Let's start with a big one. Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks, or DePIN. I know it sounds incredibly complicated, but the idea is actually very simple. Think about the physical things we use for technology every day. Wi-Fi hotspots, data storage servers, energy grids. Right now, massive corporations like Verizon, Amazon Web Services, your local power company, own and control all of this infrastructure. They build it, they maintain it, they charge us to use it. DePIN turns this entire model on its head by allowing regular people like you and me to build and own these networks together. Here's how it works. A DePIN project creates a system where individuals can contribute their own hardware resources to a collective network. You could share a portion of your home internet bandwidth, unused computer storage, data from a smart sensor on your car. In return, the project rewards you with its native crypto tokens. This creates a powerful incentive. People are motivated to deploy more hardware, which makes the network stronger and more widespread, which in turn makes the service more valuable. It's a brilliant flywheel effect. The reason this is gaining so much steam is simple. It's cheaper and faster. Instead of one company spending billions of dollars and years of time to build a nationwide 5G network, a DePIN project can bootstrap a similar network in a fraction of the time by crowdsourcing it from thousands of individuals. We saw this with Helium, a project that built a global wireless network for IoT devices by rewarding people for running small hotspots. Recent data from Masari shows the DePIN sector has already surpassed a market cap of $20 billion and is projected to grow into a multi-trillion-dollar industry within the next decade. This model is being applied to almost everything you can imagine. There are projects building decentralized versions of Google Maps, where users contribute street-level imagery from dash cams. Others are creating decentralized cloud computing platforms to compete with Amazon's AWS, but at a fraction of the cost. The potential is enormous because it directly challenges some of the most powerful and profitable monopolies in the world. By distributing the ownership and control of physical infrastructure, DePIN creates services that are not only more resilient, censorship-resistant, but also significantly more affordable for everyone involved. Now, it's not all perfect. We have to talk about the risks. The biggest challenge for any DePIN project is achieving critical mass. A decentralized Wi-Fi network is useless if there are only 3 hotspots in your entire city. These projects need to perfectly balance the token incentives to attract enough hardware providers to create a genuinely useful service. If the token price crashes, the rewards dry up, and people might start unplugging their devices, causing the network to spiral downwards. This is known as the flywheel working in reverse, and it's a real danger for early-stage projects. Another major hurdle is regulation. When you have thousands of people operating parts of a communications network, or thousands operating parts of an energy network, established telecom and utility giants will not give up their market share without a fight, and they have powerful lobbying groups on their side. These legacy companies could push for regulations that make it difficult or even illegal for DePIN networks to operate, posing a significant threat to their growth. The next major trend is the evolution of social media and gaming. SocialFi and GameFi 2.0. Let's break it down. SocialFi stands for social finance. Give you more control, ownership over your social media experience. Right now, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. Own your data. Control what you see. Take the lion's share of ad revenue. SocialFi builds decentralized social networks. You own your data. You own your social graph. You can monetize your influence directly. GameFi is applying those principles to gaming. GameFi 1.0 was criticized, more finance than game. Gameplay was boring, people played only to earn tokens. GameFi 2.0 is a paradigm shift. Top-tier studios entering, experienced developers involved, building fun, high-quality games, rivaling AAA titles. In-game assets like skins, weapons, characters are NFTs. You truly own them and can trade on open marketplaces. This creates a powerful new dynamic. Imagine hundreds of hours in a game, leveling a rare character, selling that character for real money to another player. That's the promise of GameFi 2.0. It transforms players from consumers into active participants in the game's economy. Similarly, SocialFi, getting paid in crypto per like, issuing social tokens, followers buy for exclusive access. It realigns incentives between platforms, creators, and users. Momentum is undeniable. VCs pouring hundreds of millions into GameFi and SocialFi. DappRadar, gaming tilde 30% of blockchain activity investments climbing after the bear market. Not a niche. The future of play and interaction online, creating digital economies that reward users, making the digital world more engaging, rewarding, and economically empowering for everyone. Of course, this trend has its own set of challenges. For GameFi 2.0, the biggest hurdle is development time and cost. Creating a high-quality AAA-style game can take years and cost over $100 million. Many projects will raise a lot of money on hype and then fail to deliver a product that is actually fun to play. Investors could be left holding tokens for a game that never gets finished, or even worse, a game that is simply boring. The success of these projects hinges entirely on their ability to attract a large base of players and retain players who are there for the gameplay, not just the financial speculation. For SocialFi, the main problem is the network effect. People use Facebook, Instagram, X, because that's where their friends, family, and favorite creators are. A new decentralized social network, no matter how great its technology or tokenomics, starts with 0 users. Breaking into this market and convincing millions of people to switch from the platforms they've used for over a decade is a monumental task. These new platforms need to offer a user experience that is at least 10 times better or provide such compelling financial incentives that users can't afford to ignore them. This third trend, real-world asset tokenization or RWA, might be the most impactful of them all. It's also one of the easiest to understand. RWA tokenization is creating a digital token on a blockchain that represents ownership of a real-world asset. This asset could be anything: a piece of real estate, a bar of gold, a share of a private company, a fine art painting, future revenue from a business loan. Essentially, it's about bringing the value of the physical world onto the blockchain ledger. So, how does this work in practice? Let's say you want to invest in a commercial real estate property worth $10 million. Traditionally, you'd need to be an accredited investor with millions. With tokenization, ownership can be divided into 10,000 digital tokens, each worth $1,000. These tokens can be bought and sold on a decentralized exchange, like any cryptocurrency. That makes it a liquid, inaccessible asset class available to many more investors. You could own a small fraction of a skyscraper in New York City. The benefits here are massive. First, it brings liquidity to illiquid markets. Selling a building can take months or years. Selling a token can take seconds. Second, it drastically reduces administrative costs. Blockchain automates processes handled by lawyers, brokers, custodians, making transactions cheaper and faster. Finally, it democratizes access to wealth-generating assets previously reserved for the ultra-rich. This could reshape the entire investing landscape. This isn't a futuristic fantasy, it's happening now. Major financial institutions like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton are exploring and launching tokenized funds. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, says the next generation for markets and securities will be tokenization. When the head of the world's largest asset manager says that, pay attention. The Boston Consulting Group predicts the market for tokenized assets could reach $16 trillion by 2030. This is the bridge connecting traditional finance with crypto, and it's being built now. As with any trend that involves this much money, the risks are substantial. The single biggest challenge for RWA tokenization is the legal and regulatory framework. How do you legally prove that a token on the blockchain truly represents ownership of a physical asset? What happens if the company that holds the physical asset goes bankrupt? These are complex legal questions that vary from country to country. A lack of clear regulation can create uncertainty and risk for investors. you need to trust the issuer of the token and the legal structure that backs it up. Another major risk is custody and security of the physical asset itself. So, we've covered 3 massive trends: DePIN, GameFi, and SocialFi 2.0, RWA tokenization. You might be feeling excited, and maybe a little overwhelmed. That's completely normal. Don't rush into anything. Slow down, do your own research. Don't just take my word for it, start with Akash. Farcaster, Centrifuge, visit their websites, read their white papers, join their Discord or Telegram, see what people are saying. Is the team actively building and communicating? Be extremely vigilant about scams. The space is full of people trying to take your money. Expect ads promising guaranteed returns. Expect direct messages offering investment help. Ignore all of it. Never give your private keys or seed phrase to anyone. Use reputable exchanges and platforms only. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Double-check website URLs. Be skeptical. Your security is your responsibility. Practice diversification and risk management. Don't go all in on a single project. Even the best projects can fail. Spread your investments across trends, and across projects within those trends. Only invest what you can afford to lose. The market is highly volatile. Prices can drop 50% or more quickly. Invest a small portion to protect financial stability. Always check for credibility. Look at the team. Experience and public identities? Anonymous teams are a major red flag. Look for third-party security audits. Audit reports are usually public. No audit = major risk. These cautious steps will protect you and set you up for long-term success. Quick recap. DePIN, crowdsourced physical infrastructure like Wi-Fi and cloud storage. GameFi and SocialFi 2.0, fun-first games and social apps where you own assets and data. RWA, tokenization, real-world assets like real estate and gold on-chain. Which trend do you think will explode? Let me know in the comments below. Think for yourself, look out for future deep dives. Thanks. See you next time.